Good morning. I'm Melissa Crocker, President of the Ohio Federation of Teachers, representing educators, paraprofessionals, support staff, higher ed, faculty, and public employees across the state of Ohio. I stand in solidarity with our sister Higgins here, and as teachers together, supporting Ted Strickland in his run for the Senate bid. This is an easy choice for the Ohio Federation of Teachers. We've already endorsed Ted, and it's a choice made upon a history that we know that we have with Ted Strickland. And to us, what it comes down to is not election year promises, and what people say when they're running for an office, but what does history demonstrate to us? And history demonstrates to us that Ted Strickland has always been there on our issues, and Rob Portman has not. As governor, Ted Strickland fought to reform Ohio's K-12 education system in the direction of a student-centered 21st century education system. He fought for progressive reforms that OFT has long advocated for, such as improving teacher quality, building leadership teams at district and building levels that include teacher participation, and increasing professional development and supports to meet the needs of the whole child. As President Higgins indicated, under his leadership when he was governor of Ohio, Ohio's education system moved from 27th in the nation to the 5th best in the nation. Since he has left, Ohio's ranking has plummeted to 23rd. He has fought to make education funding fair and adequate and created a new funding formula to achieve this goal. In the Senate, we know that he will partner with educators to make sure that every student has the same opportunities he did to learn the skills necessary for the workplace and a master curriculum that prepares them for higher education. We know that Ted Strickland values public education, and we know that Rob Portman has not valued public education, and here's our proof. Ted Strickland has been a strong and consistent voice against vouchers. Recent research reports show that vouchers are not an effective way to educate children, that children who choose to use vouchers to attend private schools perform worse than children who stay in public schools. Ted Strickland knows this and supports our public schools. Rob Portman has supported giving more money to the voucher system. Ted Strickland was strongly opposed to the $71 million grant that Higgins just referred to that was given to Ohio when Ohio was undergoing a scandal with charter schools. Ted Strickland was strongly standing against that. Ted Strickland was there on the front lines when our workers faced Senate Bill 5. Senator Brown in his position came and supported us against Senate Bill 5. Rob Portman was nowhere to be seen. And Rob Portman, in 2011, when there was we had the act to restore jobs to teachers and first responders, Rob Portman voted against that, an act that would help educators keep their jobs. Rob Portman voted against that. And most importantly, or maybe not most importantly, another important issue to us is as people who work with children every day, it is disturbing to us that Rob Portman will not stand out against the vitriol that we hear from the presidential candidate on the Republican side. But he instead stands in support as someone who is absolutely not a good role model for the students that we teach on a daily basis. So as I said before, this was an easy decision for us. The Ohio Federation of Teachers and our members unanimously decided to endorse Ted Strickland, and we stand behind that endorsement.
Good morning. My name is Joe Regola. I'm the Executive Director of the Ohio Association of Public School Employees, which is an affiliate of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. I represent 35,000 members in Ohio. The AFSCME family in Ohio represents 105,000 members. OCSCA Local 11, AFSCME, Ohio Council 8, and my own union are the three affiliates of that national union. All three affiliates and our national union have endorsed Ted Strickland in his race for U.S. Senate for one very simple reason. On economic, trade, tax, and labor policy, Ted Strickland has always stood with the American middle class and working families, and Rob Portman has consistently throughout his entire career devoted himself to representing the interests of the super wealthy and corporations in this country. For that reason, all three affiliates in our national union did not find it a difficult decision at all to endorse Ted Strickland, and will be working very hard to ensure his election to the United States Senate. Thank you.
I should point out when the Ohio AFL-CIO made its endorsement, it was unanimous. And since we made that endorsement, it's become even more clear that the endorsement is a direct endorsement. When you look at where Senator Portman was at in fast tracking the Trans-Pacific trade agreement, and when you look at putting politics over people and not moving forward with nomination hearings for the Supreme Court vacancy, there's no question that the endorsement was right on all of the issues that you're going to hear about today, in addition to those. So now I'd like labor leaders come forward and talk about in the private sector, the difference between the two candidates on the manufacturing side and the building construction trade side. So first we'll hear from Dave Caldwell, Assistant Director, United Steelworkers District 1.
Thank you. As President Berger said, my name is Dave Caldwell. I'm the Assistant Director in District 1, which is the state of Ohio within the United Steelworkers. We represent a number of people in the manufacturing sector, not just steel, but paper workers and flint glass workers and aluminum workers and brick and oil and gas and a number of things due to mergers. So deeply entrenched, a little bit of public sector, but mostly in manufacturing. So we are impacted directly by these trade deals and have been for some time. And the choice has never been clear about who the candidate would be relative to that single issue focus on trade. And I would submit to you that this economy, the same as any other in the world, can't exist without a manufacturing base. You have to produce something, as both sides now agree on, but we continually pass bad trade deals that export our jobs. Senator Portman has consistently, whether as the U.S. Trade Representative to George W. Bush, then President Bush, or as a member of Congress, has consistently about 14 times, I think 8 times in the Congress and 6 times as the U.S. Trade Representative, bad trade policies that, including those things with China, who was notorious for currency manipulation, that he now says that he's having second thoughts about the Trans-Pacific Partnership for that exact same issue. The hypocrisy of this guy is absolutely unbelievable. On the other hand, we have Ted Strickland, who consistently, whether as a member of Congress or the governor of the state, has been out there working diligently in every way that he possibly can to save those jobs in Ohio and in the rest of the United States. And those are things that I can speak to directly, because as a person who's out there bargaining those contracts and frequently doing effects bargaining at plants that were closing or considering closure, we never had to wait for then Congressman Ted Strickland for us to phone and try to get someone there to get help, or as Governor Strickland with the Ormet plant to get the PUC-O deal for electricity. Ted Strickland was on the phone calling, and I received those calls myself on several occasions, and many, many other times to Director McCall, calling us and asking, say, these things are going on, what can I do to help? That's the kind of person that we need in the Senate and the Congress, and in every public servant in the U.S. and certainly in the state of Ohio. Not someone who gives us mouth service one way and then consistently votes in the other way. My district director, Dave McCall, and I sincerely believe this, says on every occasion that we have an opportunity to say it, that our members in the working class will always do the right thing, make the right choice if they're given the correct and true and accurate information. The choice has never been clearer here. We have a person who on 14 separate occasions had an opportunity to assist, consistently went in the wrong direction in Senator Portman, and a person who not only voted the right way and did the right things both in the Congress and as the governor of the state, and did the right things and always was there to try to help. So we're not asking anybody to buy a pig in a poke here. We've got 2 known commodities. One who has consistently voted the wrong way and now tells us that he's seen the light and wants to do the right thing because he knows that vote won't take place until after his election. And on the other side of that, we have a person who has not only on trade policy issues, but in 2008, in the Great Recession, saved the auto industry and attempted all the attempts that everyone was making. He, as the governor, worked diligently on that effect when Portman was on the opposite side of that as well and said, let the auto industry die, along with other folks who thought that was the right thing to do. We all sitting here now know the error of that way. So many, many times on many different occasions, these folks have shown what they want to do. One who now says, forget what my voting record is, here's what I want to do for you now. The other who has clearly always been there and consistently been there without fail and wants to do the same thing now. The choice in this senatorial election for the state of Ohio and for the United States of America is clearly Ted Strickland, and not believe the hypocrisy and the lies of the other side from out there. Thank you.